Welcome to another episode of Wellness Wednesday. Last week we addressed some of your questions, and that brought in more questions, which we are more than happy to answer. One of the questions that I get sometimes, and actually I got this recently after last week's Wellness Wednesday video, is talk about exercise. How important is exercise? That is a fundamental part of the whole process. You know, at first you start out kind of slow and you do what you can, and then they recommend, 5 times a week, 30 minutes a day, some kind of activity, whether it's walking, jogging, swimming, running, some kind of activity. And a good thing to, help you keep up, which I asked Santa Claus for Christmas, is one of the like a pedometer type things that you can actually wear that'll keep count of your calories that you burn throughout the day, how many steps. One of those is actually very beneficial. So look to see me with that in the new year, hopefully, if Santa realizes how good of a girl I've been. But exercise is a very, very big part, because you're still intaking calories, and so you need to burn them. No, you're not taking in as many, but you still need to burn calories to lose weight as well, so that it balances itself out. So it's something simple, like during the summer when this whole process started, I would go out and pull weeds in my yard every day. I just did something to get active, whether it's rolling around on the floor with the kids, whether it's throwing the football, whether you go riding bikes with the family, or you roller skate. Find something to get active each day, to do something. Like I said, whether it's walk around the block, a treadmill, whatever it may be, get active with your family, or if it's just you, find something that you enjoy. Another question was, have the expectations that I had before, have they equaled out to what I think they should be now? It's actually more, and this kind of falls into another question. They kind of go hand in hand. Has anything been frustrating? And sometimes, because at first the weight loss was so rapid, and at this point, there are weeks that I might not lose a pound or two. In some weeks I may lose 4 pounds, and the next week I don't lose anything. There's different weeks that you kind of hit a wall and you have to change things up, and maybe, go a little longer on the treadmill, or maybe a little faster, or up the incline or something, because you hit that plateau, and you can do that often. And that's where you have to not become frustrated. And that's one of the many things that Dr. Davenport always tries to stress, is not to become frustrated. That, the weight's going to come off, and, there's going to be some ups and some downs, but you just have to keep trucking. And so I think those two questions kind of go hand in hand. Sometimes I think that, honestly, sometimes eating gets frustrating, because, it's an adjustment of what you've known before. Because, like, if you go, like at Thanksgiving, all the food was out on the table, and the frustration is the adjustment, I guess. Or I'm not gonna lie to you that sometimes I see people eating other things and think, wow, I sure would like to have a bite of that. But the new me, and my new way of thinking, knows that that's not the way to go, and have to bypass that. So that's a bit of a frustration. Part of the process in this is no carbonation, and they don't want you to have any sugar. And I was the biggest Dr. Pepper fan, and Dr. Pepper was like my drug, my go-to, especially when I was tired, when I was happy, when I was cranky. I love me some Dr. Pepper. And so now sometimes, in a stressful situation, it might just taste real nice and sweet, but no more of that. And it's been since August that I've had a carbonated beverage, and which is crazy to me to think that. But now I don't really. There's a time I just miss the sweet taste of a Dr. Pepper, but not the actual, no caffeine or anything like that. I read an article about people ask if things changed in your life, and I read an article about someone who'd gone through weight loss surgery, and how they had lost some of their friends. And I guess that's been a biggest fear of mine, is because that things change, that my friendships would change, or maybe I would lose or gain friends, or different things like that. Because sometimes in life when you make changes, you don't always keep the same friends. If you don't drink anymore, you don't really hang out with a drinking crowd. But I've been very blessed that everybody on my side has been on my side the entire time. That was one thing I really worried about. Would I change? would me, who I am and who I was, change enough to where I wouldn't, I would lose friends, or, relationships would change. And honestly, in so many things, I think they've gotten stronger because I feel so much better about myself, because I'm not as insecure about things that as I was. And if you're ever been one of those people that say this is the easy way out, it's absolutely 100% not. I'd dare you to take a step down this journey, because there's been some tough times. People ask me, I tell you, as part of the physical healing part, the worst part was the staples, but I'd have to say the liquid diet was the worst. If you're not mentally prepared for that, it'll get you. If you're not really ready, that's actually the first, I think, big, huge challenge of the change in your life is the liquid diet. And I think if you can survive that, then, you're good to go on that. So yeah, that was honestly, I guess I would say that's truly was the hardest part. I was real angry for about 2 weeks because I was so hungry. But and you miss the actual like biting. They say when people quit smoking, they miss the whole hand to mouth thing. That's why they eat. But I missed actually biting something, because you're not chewing or anything like that. You just drink liquid. So I guess that would have been the hardest part of that. So I appreciate all your questions. We welcome them anytime. You can always email us. You can always Facebook us. And of course, we're nearing down to the end of the year, and we're going to move into Christmas week and things like that. So next week we'll have some tips for you on what you can eat, or maybe the healthier side to make things. We'll do that for you next week. And of course, like I said, if you have any questions, email us, Facebook us, any of those questions. Call me. It doesn't matter. Call our office. We're here for you. And like I said, next week we'll talk about food preparation for the holidays, and then gear up in the new year, because going into the new year will be quite different for me. So we'll have that coming up for you as well. Thank you for tuning into Wellness Wednesdays with Lone Star 92 and Medical Center Hospital.